has systems in place for dispute resolution to ensure things stay fair and everyone maintains trust in the platform. It's in their best interest to keep both sides happy.
So it's about having those safety nets in case things get bumpy.
Exactly. There will always be bumps in the road with any new system, but the potential rewards are so big, it's worth working through those challenges.
It does seem like Zido is dedicated to creating something that's both innovative and sustainable for the long haul.
Absolutely. They're not in it for a quick buck. They're building something with the potential to truly transform global trade for the better.
Okay, we've covered a lot today. From the nitty-gritty of Zido's platform and payments to these bigger ideas about the future of global commerce. But before we wrap up, I want to go back to something you said earlier about Zido empowering businesses. Can you expand on that a bit? What does empowerment actually look like in this context?
That's a great question. I think for Zido, empowerment means giving businesses more control over their own destinies.
Okay, I like where you're going with this. Tell me more.
Think about all the hurdles businesses face, especially the smaller ones or those in emerging markets. They often struggle to access the resources they need: financing, finding good suppliers, even just the knowledge to navigate this complex world of global trade.
It's like they're constantly fighting an uphill battle.
Exactly. And Zido steps in to level that playing field. They give those businesses the tools and support to compete and succeed on a global stage.
So it's about removing those barriers to entry, letting more businesses have a seat at the table, so to speak.
Precisely. And that's where Zido's real power lies. They're not just building a platform, they're building a community, a network of businesses working together, creating a more inclusive and prosperous future for everyone.
This is really inspiring stuff, but are there actual examples of Zido making a difference? Have they helped businesses achieve real, tangible results?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I came across this amazing story while prepping for our deep dive. It's about a woman in Nigeria, Amina. She runs this company making gorgeous handcrafted textiles.
Wow, that sounds beautiful.
Oh, they are. And she'd always dreamed of exporting them, sharing them with the world.
Of course, that makes sense.
But she hit so many roadblocks, finding reliable buyers, dealing with export regulations, and of course, managing the money side of it all.
I can imagine that would be incredibly daunting, especially for a small business owner.
It was. Amina hit a wall. She had the talent, the ambition, but just lacked the resources and connections to take her business to that next level.
And that's where Zido entered the picture.
Yep. Through Zido's platform, Amina connected with a whole network of international buyers who were specifically looking for unique, high-quality textiles. They helped her navigate all the export hurdles, making sure she met all the requirements.
And I'm guessing Zido's payment model came in handy too.
Absolutely. That revenue-backed payment system gave her the financial security to take on those bigger orders without risking everything.
So Zido provided that bridge connecting Amina's passion and talent to the global marketplace.
Exactly. And the results were pretty amazing. Within a year of joining Zido, her business had tripled in size. She was able to hire more people, invest in new equipment, even expand her product line.
So she went from barely keeping her head above water to becoming a successful exporter, all thanks to Zido.
Yep. It's a true testament to the power of empowerment and opportunity. And Amina's story is just one of many. Zido is working with businesses all over, across so many industries, helping to create this more equitable and prosperous global economy.
This is incredible. But let's bring it back to our listeners for a second. Why should they care about all this? How is this relevant to their lives, their businesses?
That's a great point. I think there are a few key takeaways here relevant to anyone, no matter what they do.
Okay, lay them on me.
First, I think Zido's story is a powerful reminder that innovation can happen anywhere. We tend to think of innovation coming from those big tech giants, but here's a company disrupting something as traditional as global trade and making a real difference.
So it's a reminder that change is possible, even in systems that seem set in stone.
Exactly. And second, Zido's focus on empowerment is a lesson for all of us. Whether you're an entrepreneur, an employee, whoever, you have the power to make things happen.
Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive?
Always.
Awesome. Today we're tackling Zido.
Zido.
Yeah, they're making a real splash in global trade, especially with this whole revenue backed payments thing.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that. Sounds interesting.
It is basically imagine buying everything your business needs, but paying with the money you'll make because of those purchases.
That is pretty clever.
Right. We've got a bunch of their material to dig through, marketing stuff, explainer text, the works. Should give us a good look under the hood.
Looking forward to it.
Me too. And to help us break it all down, we've got a real expert in supply chains and all things fintech.
Glad to be here. Zido's definitely doing something innovative. Should be a fascinating deep dive.
Absolutely. So, first off, what is it that Zido actually does?
Right. Good place to start.
Their stuff talks about connecting businesses to suppliers worldwide, managing the whole buying process from A to Z, and making it all super easy with their tech platform.
Well,
Plus, they've got these financial tools built right in. Pretty impressive.
yeah, sounds like they cover a lot of bases.
Oh, and get this, they've already dealt with over $2.6 billion worth of goods.
Wow.
Yeah, working with companies all over the globe.
Those are some serious numbers. They must be doing something right.
For sure. But what I find really interesting is why these services are so valuable.
Good point. It's easy to get caught up in the what and forget about the why.
Exactly. So, have you ever tried finding a reliable supplier for your business, especially one overseas?
Oh, tell me about it. It can be a real headache. So many things to consider, and it's hard to know who to trust.
Right. And even when you find someone good, managing all the back and forth, the contracts, orders, invoices, payments, it can get messy.
Totally. Procurement can be a logistical nightmare if you're not careful.
Absolutely. And that's where Zido steps in, streamlining everything, making it smoother for both sides.
I see. So they're simplifying the whole process.
Exactly. And a big part of what sets them apart from what I'm reading is their financial tools, especially what they call revenue backed payments.
Yeah, that's the thing that's really got people talking.
For sure. But what does it even mean?
Okay, so think about the usual way businesses pay their suppliers.
You get an invoice and you pay it within a certain time,
Right. Often before you've even been paid by your customers.
which can be a huge strain on cash flow, especially for smaller businesses.
Absolutely. It's like trying to fill a leaky bucket while standing in the rain.
Great analogy. So is that what Zido is changing?
Yep. Instead of upfront payments, they let businesses use their future revenue to cover costs. It's a whole new way of thinking about supply chain payments.
So instead of scrambling for cash, now you use the money you know is coming later.
Precisely. It's like prepaying for a service with the guarantee of future income.
That's actually brilliant. Can you give me a concrete example?
Sure. Imagine you own a company selling, say, swimwear. You need to stock up before summer, but it's January. Nobody's buying bikinis.
Makes sense.
Zido would step in and say, hey, we know you'll make bank once summer hits. So let's use that future revenue to pay your suppliers now.
So you can get what you need without draining your current funds.
Exactly. It helps avoid those cash crunches and lets businesses invest in growth without piling on debt.
That's incredible. It sounds like both the business and the suppliers would be happy with that arrangement.
You got it. It's a win-win situation. And Zido lists a bunch of other advantages for businesses using their platform: stronger relationships with suppliers, more flexibility with finances, even reducing risks and creating stability in those often fragile supply chains.
Those are all pretty critical things for any business, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely crucial. But before we dive into all that, I'm curious, what does Zido's platform even look like? Do you need to be a tech whiz to use it?
Good question. I'm not exactly a coding guru myself.
Well, that's one of the things that makes Zido stand out. Their platform is incredibly user-friendly. They've taken all those complex processes, finding suppliers, negotiating contracts, managing orders and payments, and streamlined them into a system that's easy to understand and use.
So no need to be a computer genius to figure it out.
Nope. It's designed to be intuitive, even for people who aren't super tech savvy. They've taken out a lot of the headache of managing, well, remember that word procurement?
Procurement.
Yeah, it just means getting the stuff your business needs. Zido makes procurement a breeze, even for businesses operating on a global scale.
Okay, so they've got this amazing platform, a revolutionary payment system. They're working with companies worldwide. But where are they actually focusing their efforts right now?
Now, that's where things get really strategic. Zido is currently concentrating on two key markets, Nigeria and the UK.
Interesting. Why those two? They seem pretty different.
They are, but Zido's approach is all about tailoring solutions to specific needs.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Well, Nigeria is booming with entrepreneurial energy. It's a fast growing economy, but businesses there often struggle with cash flow and accessing global markets.
I see. So Zido's model fits right in.
Exactly. It helps them overcome those challenges and connect with the wider world.
So they're tapping into a market with massive potential.
Precisely. And then you have the UK, a mature market with established businesses. They need sophisticated tools to stay competitive in a complex global landscape.
So different needs, but Zido helps both.
Exactly. In the UK, it's about streamlining, managing risk, and getting the financing to grow.
So two different markets, but the same underlying philosophy of empowering businesses.
You got it. And what's really cool is that Zido, being in both regions, helps their clients manage their own multinational supply chains.
Because nowadays businesses are sourcing from all over the globe.
Exactly. Zido's facilitating that global interconnectedness.
This is fascinating stuff. But before we get too carried away, let's circle back to those benefits Zido keeps mentioning. How are businesses actually using their platform to gain an advantage?
Let's dive into that.
Yeah.
One of the biggest benefits is building those rock solid supplier relationships.
Okay, tell me more. How does Zido do that?
Well, put yourself in the supplier's shoes. Would you rather work with a company that pays reliably, on time, every time, or one that's always struggling to make ends meet?
I definitely go with the reliable one.
Right. It's all about trust and consistency. And that's exactly what Zido enables. Those steady, on time payments build that trust, make those suppliers want to prioritize your business.
I see. So it goes beyond just getting a good price.
Exactly. It's about building those long term partnerships, making both sides stronger. And that actually feeds into another key benefit Zido highlights scalability.
Okay, scalability. How does Zido help businesses scale up and grow?
Think about it this way. Say you've got a chance to really expand, maybe launch a whole new product line, but you need to invest, right? Inventory, equipment, maybe even more staff.
And traditionally, that'd mean taking out loans, maxing out credit cards, all that risky stuff.
Right, especially for a smaller business that might not have a perfect credit score.
Exactly.
But Zido flips the script. You can use the projected revenue from that expansion to fund those initial costs.
So it's like prepaying for growth with the money you'll make because of that growth.
You got it. Unlocking that potential that might have been out of reach before. And that ties into another benefit that's crucial in today's world risk mitigation.
Risk mitigation. Okay, I'm listening. How does Zido help reduce risk for businesses?
Think about all the things that can throw a wrench in a supply chain, right? Natural disasters, political stuff, even a simple shipping delay can cause huge headaches.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be stuck scrambling for a new supplier last minute or having to explain to customers why their order is who knows where.
Exactly. And that's where Zido's focus on stable finances and predictable payments comes in. When your suppliers know they can count on you, even when things get a bit rocky, they're more likely to stick with you through thick and thin.
It's about building that resilience into the supply chain.
Exactly. So you can handle those ups and downs that are bound to happen. And Zido doesn't just talk the talk, they back it all up with transparent financial tracking.
Okay, break that down for me. What does transparent financial tracking even mean in this context?
It means you can see exactly where every dollar is going, how much you owe, how much is coming in, how repayments are calculated, no hidden fees, no surprises. It's all laid out in black and white.
So it's like having a financial dashboard, but for your entire supply chain.
Exactly. And that kind of transparency is super empowering. You can make smarter decisions, manage cash flow better, and build even stronger relationships with your suppliers based on trust and understanding.
Okay, I'm seeing the bigger picture here. Zido's not just about payments. They're creating this whole ecosystem to support businesses in this complex global market.
You got it. And I think the most exciting part is their potential to change the way we think about global trade as a whole.
Now we're talking big picture stuff. What do you see as the long-term implications of their approach?
Well, we've talked a lot about how Zido helps individual businesses, right? But imagine if this kind of model became the standard. Businesses all over the world connecting seamlessly without all the friction and delays of traditional payment systems.
That sounds pretty utopian. You really think it's possible?
I think it's more possible than ever before. Technology is changing how we do business, and Zido is a perfect example of how that innovation can create a system that's more efficient and fair for everyone.
So they're like a catalyst for change, pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Exactly. And it's not just about the tech, it's about changing the mindset, moving away from that old transactional way of doing business to something more collaborative, more sustainable.
I can almost hear a revolution brewing. But let's be realistic for a second. Are there any potential downsides, any challenges to Zido's model?
Of course,
Yeah.
every new system has its growing pains. One potential concern is the reliance on those revenue projections. Businesses need to be spot on with those, otherwise, they could end up in hot water.
So forecasting is key.
Absolutely. They need to understand their financials inside and out, make realistic predictions. But Zido likely has mechanisms in place to help mitigate that risk, maybe by analyzing past data or current market trends.
So it's a two-way street. Zido provides the tools, but businesses have to use them wisely.
Exactly. It's a partnership. And like any partnership, there's always the potential for, disagreements.
Oh, I see where you're going with this. What if a business and a supplier have a dispute over a payment or a contract?
Right. That's a valid concern. But I'm sure Zido has systems in place for dispute resolution to ensure things stay fair and everyone maintains trust in the platform. It's in their best interest to keep both sides happy.
So it's about having those safety nets in case things get bumpy.
Exactly. There will always be bumps in the road with any new system, but the potential rewards are so big, it's worth working through those challenges.
It does seem like Zido is dedicated to creating something that's both innovative and sustainable for the long haul.
Absolutely. They're not in it for a quick buck. They're building something with the potential to truly transform global trade for the better.
Okay, we've covered a lot today. From the nitty-gritty of Zido's platform and payments to these bigger ideas about the future of global commerce. But before we wrap up, I want to go back to something you said earlier about Zido empowering businesses. Can you expand on that a bit? What does empowerment actually look like in this context?
That's a great question. I think for Zido, empowerment means giving businesses more control over their own destinies.
Okay, I like where you're going with this. Tell me more.
Think about all the hurdles businesses face, especially the smaller ones or those in emerging markets. They often struggle to access the resources they need. Financing, finding good suppliers, even just the knowledge to navigate this complex world of global trade.
It's like they're constantly fighting an uphill battle.
Exactly. And Zido steps in to level that playing field. They give those businesses the tools and support to compete and succeed on a global stage.
So it's about removing those barriers to entry, letting more businesses have a seat at the table, so to speak.
Precisely. And that's where Zido's real power lies. They're not just building a platform, they're building a community, a network of businesses working together, creating a more inclusive and prosperous future for everyone.
This is really inspiring stuff, but are there actual examples of Zido making a difference? Have they helped businesses achieve real, tangible results?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I came across this amazing story while prepping for our deep dive. It's about a woman in Nigeria, Amina. She runs this company making gorgeous handcrafted textiles.
Wow, that sounds beautiful.
Oh, they are. And she'd always dreamed of exporting them, sharing them with the world,
Of course, that makes sense.
But she hit so many roadblocks, finding reliable buyers, dealing with export regulations, and of course, managing the money side of it all.
I can imagine that would be incredibly daunting, especially for a small business owner.
It was. Amina hit a wall. She had the talent, the ambition, but just lacked the resources and connections to take her business to that next level.
And that's where Zido entered the picture.
Yep. Through Zido's platform, Amina connected with a whole network of international buyers who were specifically looking for unique, high-quality textiles. They helped her navigate all the export hurdles, making sure she met all the requirements.
And I'm guessing Zido's payment model came in handy too.
Absolutely. That revenue-backed payment system gave her the financial security to take on those bigger orders without risking everything.
So Zido provided that bridge connecting Amina's passion and talent to the global marketplace.
Exactly. And the results were pretty amazing. Within a year of joining Zido, her business had tripled in size. She was able to hire more people, invest in new equipment, even expand her product line.
So she went from barely keeping her head above water to becoming a successful exporter, all thanks to Zido.
Yep. It's a true testament to the power of empowerment and opportunity. And Amina's story is just one of many. Zido is working with businesses all over, across so many industries, helping to create this more equitable and prosperous global economy.
This is incredible. But let's bring it back to our listeners for a second. Why should they care about all this? How is this relevant to their lives, their businesses?
That's a great point. I think there are a few key takeaways here relevant to anyone, no matter what they do.
Okay, lay them on me.
First, I think Zido's story is a powerful reminder that innovation can happen anywhere. We tend to think of innovation coming from those big tech giants, but here's a company disrupting something as traditional as global trade and making a real difference.
So it's a reminder that change is possible, even in systems that seem set in stone.
Exactly. And second, Zido's focus on empowerment is a lesson for all of us. Whether you're an entrepreneur, an employee, whoever, you have the power to make things happen, create positive change.
So take ownership, challenge the status quo, all that good stuff.
You got it. And lastly, Zido's story highlights that we're all connected in this global economy. What happens in one part of the world has ripple effects everywhere else.
So it's about recognizing that shared humanity, working together to build a more sustainable future for everyone.
Beautifully put.
I'm feeling pretty inspired right now. Zido's doing good while doing well, something to celebrate for sure.
I agree. They're a shining example of what's possible when you combine innovation with social responsibility and a genuine desire to make a difference.
But let's get back down to earth for a minute. What are some things businesses should consider if they're thinking about working with Zido? What questions should they be asking themselves?
That's a great point. It's always important to approach any new opportunity with a critical eye. Make sure it's the right fit for your specific situation.
So what are some key questions businesses should be asking?
Well, first and foremost, they got to assess their own financial situation. Are they bringing consistent revenue? Do they have a handle on their cash flow? Are they okay with using future earnings to cover current costs?
So it's about being honest with yourself about your financial health.
Exactly. And they need to think about their growth plans. Does Zido align with their long-term goals and vision for the business?
So it's about strategic thinking, making sure Zido is the right partner for the journey.
Exactly. And they should definitely do their research on Zido's platform, their services. Do they have a solid track record? Are they transparent? What's their reputation in the market?
So it's about doing your due diligence, making sure you're comfortable with who you're working with.
Right. And lastly, they should reach out to Zido directly, have a conversation, ask questions, get a feel for the company culture, make sure it's a good fit.
So it's about building a relationship, not just signing on the dotted line.
Exactly. It's about finding a partner who gets you, who's invested in your success.
Okay, that's all fantastic advice. But before we send our listeners off to do their research, I want to leave them with a final thought, something to really chew on. What are the broader implications if Zido keeps succeeding? How could this impact the future of global trade as a whole?
That's a great question. I think Zido's success could be a sign that we're at the beginning of a massive shift in how global trade works.
Okay, I'm all ears. What kind of shift?
Well, traditionally, global trade has been dominated by big players, corporations, financial institutions. They've controlled the flow of goods and money, often at the expense of smaller businesses and developing economies. But Zido is changing that dynamic. They're empowering businesses of all sizes to participate in the global market in a way that's more transparent, more fair, and more sustainable.
So it's about leveling that playing field, creating a more democratic and inclusive system.
Precisely. And if this trend continues, it could have a huge impact. We could see a surge in entrepreneurship and innovation, especially in those emerging markets. Maybe a more diverse and resilient global supply chain, even a more equitable distribution of wealth and opportunity around the world.
That's a pretty incredible vision, but it also raises a lot of questions. How will those big players react to this disruption? Will governments support this shift toward a more decentralized system? And what about the potential risks? How do we make sure this new system is truly fair and sustainable?
Those are all valid points. There are no easy answers. But I think Zido's success has started a crucial conversation, a new way of looking at the possibilities of global trade.
A conversation worth having, for sure.
Absolutely. One that requires collaboration, innovation, and a willingness to challenge the way things have always been done. But if we can do that, I think we can create a future where global trade is a force for good, one that drives prosperity and opportunity for everyone.
Welcome back. We spent this episode really digging into what makes Zido tick. From their platform to their whole approach to payments, it's pretty groundbreaking stuff in global trade.
Yeah, they're really shaking things up.
Yeah.
Not every day you see a company tackling such a big challenge and actually making a real difference.
It's been inspiring, for sure. But before we send you off to conquer the world of global trade, we want to make sure you've got all the angles covered, all the tools to think critically about Zido and what it all means.
Right. It's one thing to get how Zido works, but understanding the bigger picture, that's key too.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a minute. What does Zido's success tell us about global trade today? Is this the future or just a passing trend?
That's the big question, isn't it? I think Zido shows that the old ways are starting to crack. Those traditional payment terms with their rigid deadlines and slow banks, they just can't keep pace with today's business world.
So Zido's like, what? A sign of things to come? A wake up call.
Exactly. They're showing there's a better way, a more efficient and fair way to connect businesses and make global trade actually work, proving that technology can be a force for good.
And they keep coming back to this idea of empowerment, right? It's not just about profits, it's about giving businesses the reins.
Absolutely. They level the playing field, especially for smaller businesses or those in emerging markets that haven't had the best access to capital or connections in the past.
Almost like they're democratizing global trade, opening it up to anyone with a good idea and the drive to make it happen.
Perfect way to put it. And if this catches on, we could see so much more entrepreneurship and innovation, especially in parts of the world that have been left out of the game for too long.
It's exciting, but I have to ask, are there any downsides to Zido's approach? Could there be unintended consequences?
Of course, disrupting something as massive as global trade, there will be challenges. One thing is those revenue projections. Businesses need to be really sharp with those. Using future income to cover present costs means they need to be confident in their forecasts.
So it's not a free pass. Businesses still need to be smart and responsible.
For sure. And then there's regulation. As this model grows, governments will need to catch up, create rules that ensure everything stays fair and stable. We don't want a free for all with no accountability.
So it's on everyone, businesses and policymakers, to work together and make sure this new system benefits everyone.
Right. Collaboration is key. We need innovative solutions that are sustainable and equitable.
Sounds like the future of global trade is going to be a wild ride.
It will be. But that's what makes it so exciting. We're seeing a major shift in how the world does business, and we can all be part of making sure it's a positive change.
Well said. I think it's time to wrap up our deep dive into Zido. We've covered a lot, from the details of their platform to the big ideas about the future of global trade. But what stood out to me is how one company with a bold vision can challenge the way things are done and make us think differently about the world.
Couldn't agree more.
But before we sign off, I want to leave everyone with one last thought. We've talked a lot about Zido, but the bigger story is so much more than just one company. It's about the power of innovation to create positive change. It's about empowerment and inclusion. And it's about how connected we all are in this global community.
I like that. A great way to sum it up.
So as you go about your day, remember, you have the power to make a difference. Support businesses you believe in. Push for policies that promote fairness and sustainability. And most importantly, never stop questioning, exploring, and diving deep into the things that matter.
Words to live by.
Thanks for joining us on this journey. Until next time, stay curious.
skyscrapers. Stress creeps in like midnight capers. Payments due, but funds run low. Zido steps in, save the show. Time ticks down like a countdown clock. Worries hit like a heavy rock. Suppliers wait with hands held out. Zido swoops in without a doubt. Turn the tide and change the flow. Future funds we borrow and grow. Pay them now and keep the pace. Zido saves the supply chain race. Money flows where troubles used to stand. Business flows like castles in the sand. Checks and balances all in play. Zido makes it a brighter day. Never stress when payments loom. Zido clears the overhead gloom. Suppliers smile as cash flows through. Timely funds and dreams come true. Turn the tide and change the flow. Future funds we borrow and grow. Pay them now and keep the pace. Zido saves the supply chain race. Chain race. Chain race. Money flows where troubles used to stand. Business grows like castles in the sand. Checks and balances all in play. Zido makes it a brighter day. My chain race. Stress creeps in like midnight capers. Payments due, but funds run low. Zido steps in, save the show. Time ticks down like a countdown clock. Worries hit like a heavy rock. Suppliers wait with hands held out. Zido swoops in without a doubt. Turn the tide and change the flow. Future funds we borrow and grow. Pay them now and keep the pace. Zido saves the supply chain race. Money flows where troubles used to stand. Business grows like castles in the sand. Checks and balances all in play. Zido makes it a brighter day. Never stress when payments loom. Zido clears the overhead gloom. Suppliers smile as cash flows through. Timely funds and dreams come true. Turn the tide and change the flow. Future funds we borrow and grow. Pay them now and keep the pace. Zido saves the supply chain race. Money flows where troubles used to stand. Business grows like castles in the sand. Checks and balances all in play. Zido makes it a brighter day. Never stress when payments loom. Zido clears the overhead gloom. Suppliers smile as cash flows through. Timely funds and dreams come true. Turn the tide and change the flow. Change the flow. Future funds we borrow and grow. Borrow and grow. Pay them now and keep the pace. Keep the pace. Zido saves the supply chain race. Chain race, chain race. Chain race. Chain race. Chain race. capers. Payments due, but funds run low. Zido steps in, save the show. Time ticks down like a countdown clock. Worries hit like a heavy rock. Suppliers wait with hands held out. Zido swoops in without a doubt. Turn the tide and change the flow. Future funds we borrow and grow. Pay them now and keep the pace. Zido saves the supply chain race. Money flows where troubles used to stand. Business grows like castles in the sand. Checks and balances all in play. Zido makes it a brighter day. Never stress when payments loom. Zido clears the overhead gloom. Suppliers smile as cash flows through. Timely funds and dreams come true. Turn the tide and change the flow. Future funds we borrow and grow. Pay them now and keep the pace. Zido saves the supply chain race. Chain race. Chain race. Money flows where troubles used to stand. Business grows like castles in the sand. Checks and balances all in play. Zido makes it a brighter day. My chain race. Chain race.
Future of finance, it's time for a glow. Cash flow angels make your business grow. Payments on time, no debts below. Zido's the way, now you're in the know. Countdown to freedom without delay. Suppliers rejoicing, hey, what do they say? Smooth as silk, no dues to pay. Anticipated future paving the way. Zido making it right. Payments flowing all day and night. Future vision stay flight. In the chain of supply delight. Gone all the worries, gone all fears. Zido for those business gears. Counting blessings in arrears. To the future, let's raise our cheers. Balance dancing in the sky. To the tune of profit high. Operational ease let out a sigh. Cash flow so no need to lie. Suppliers smiling lights aglow. Anticipation let it show. Contracts on time, funds to flow. Zido magic making you go. Zido making it right. Payments flowing all day and night. Future vision stay flight. In the chain of supply delight. Zido making it right. Payments flowing all day and night. Future vision stay flight. In the chain of supply delight. Gone all worries, gone all fears. Zido for those business gears. Counting blessings in arrears. To the future, let's raise our cheers. Diamonds dancing in the sky. To the tune of profit high. Operational ease, let out a sigh. To the future, let's cheers. Let's raise our cheers. Oh, to the future, let's dancing in the sky. Let's raise our cheers. Oh, oh. angels make your business grow. Payments on time, no debts below. Zido's the way, now you're in the know. Countdown to freedom without delay. Suppliers rejoicing, hey, what do they say? Smooth as silk, no dues to pay. Anticipated future paving the way. Zido, making it right. Payments flowing all day and night. Future visions take flight in the chain of supply delight. Gone are worries, gone are fears. See for those business peers, counting blessings in arrears. To the future, let's raise our cheers. Balance dancing in the sky to the tune of profit high. Operational ease, let out a sigh. Cash flow strong, no need to lie. Supplier smiling, lights aglow. Anticipation, let it show. Contracts on time, funds to flow. Zido magic making you go. Zido, making it right. Payments flowing all day and night. Future visions take flight in the chain of supply delight. Zido, making it right. Payments flowing all day and night. Future visions take flight in the chain of supply delight. Gone are worries, gone are fears. Zido for those business gears. Counting blessings in arrears. To the future, let's raise our cheers. In the chain of supply delight. 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 Delight. Guiding the way. Delight.
Blue stack high like skyscrapers. Stress creeps in like midnight capers. Payments due but funds run low. Zido steps in, save the show. Time ticks down like a countdown clock. Worries hit like a heavy rock. Suppliers wait with hands held out. Zido swoops in without a doubt. Turn the tide and change the flow. Future funds we borrow and grow. Pay them now and keep the pace. Zido saves the supply chain race. Money flows where troubles used to stand. Business grows like castles in the sand. Checks and balances all in play. Zido makes it a brighter day. Never stress when payments loom. Zido clears the overhead gloom. Suppliers smile as cash flows through. Timely funds and dreams come true. Turn the tide and change the flow. Future funds we borrow and grow. Pay them now and keep the pace. Zido saves the supply chain race. Money flows where
with troubles used to stand. Business grows like castles in the sand. Checks and balances all in play. Zido makes it a brighter day. Never stress when payments loom. Zido clears the overhead gloom. Suppliers smile as cash flows through. Timely funds and dreams come true. Turn the tide and change the flow. Change the flow. Future funds we borrow and grow. Borrow and grow. Pay them now and keep the pace. Keep the pace. Zido sinks the supply chain race. Chain race. Chain race. Chain race. Chain race. Chain race. Chain race.
Bills stack high like skyscrapers. Stress creeps in like midnight capers. Payments due, but funds run low. Zido steps in, save the show. Time ticks down like a countdown clock. Worries hit like a heavy rock. Suppliers wait with hands held out. Zido swoops in without a doubt. Turn the tide and change the flow. Future funds we borrow and grow. Pay them now and keep the pace. Zido saves the supply chain race. Money flows where troubles used to stand. Business goes like castles in the sand. Checks and balances all in play. Zido makes it a brighter day. Never stress when payments loom. Zido clears the overhead gloom. Suppliers smile as cash flows through. Timely funds and dreams come true. Turn the tide and change the flow. Future funds we borrow and grow. Pay them now and keep the pace. Zido saves the supply chain race. Chain race. Chain race. Chain race. Money flows where troubles used to stand. Business grows like castles in the sand. Checks and balances all in play. Zido makes it a brighter day. With a chain race.
New world of trade and flow. Cash is king, it's how we go. Zido comes to break the chains, free the funds and ease the pains. Suppliers waiting, not in vain. Money moves like summer rain. Future payments scheduled tight. Zido makes it feel just right. Unlock the doors with just a click. Zido's got the power trick, bringing harmony to play in the supply chain every day. Timely treasures every day. Pay it forward, find your way. Suppliers smiling for the ease. Zido brings the world to please. A future that's clear and bright. Funds flowing with pure daylight. No more waiting in the shade. Zido lighting up your tray. Unlock the doors with just a click. Zido's got the power trick, bringing harmony need to play in the supply chain every day. Timely treasures every day. Pay it forward, find your way. Supplier smiling for the ease. Zido brings the world to please. A future that's clear and bright. Funds flowing with pure delight. No waiting in the shade. Zido lighting up your tray. Unlock the doors with just a click. Zido's got the power trick. Bringing harmony to play in the supply chain every day.
In the world of trade and flow, cash is king, it's how we go. Zido comes to break the chains, free the funds and ease the pain. Suppliers waiting, not in vain. Money moves like summer rain. Future payments scheduled tight. Zido makes it feel just right. Unlock the doors with just a click. Zido's got the power trick, bringing harmony to play in the supply chain every day. Timely treasures every day. Pay it forward, find your way. Suppliers smiling for the ease. Zido brings the world to please. A future that's clear and bright. Ooh, funds flowing with pure delight. Ooh, no more waiting in the shade. Zido, light up your tray. Unlock the doors with just a click. Zido's got the power trick, bringing harmony to play in the supply chain every day. Unlock the doors with just a click. Zido's got the power trick, bringing harmony to play in the supply chain every day. Timely treasures every day. Pay it forward, find your way. Suppliers styling for the ease. Zido brings the world to please. A future that's clear and bright. Ooh, funds flowing with pure delight. Ooh, a future that's clear and bright. Pay it forward, find your way. Suppliers smiling for the ease. Zido brings the world to please. Unlock the doors with just a click. Zido's got the power trick, bringing harmony to play in the supply chain every day. Unlock the doors with just a click. Zido's got the power trick, bringing harmony to play in the supply chain every day.
Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive?
Always.
Future of finance, it's time for a glow. Cash flow angels make your business grow. Payments on time, no debts below. Zido's the way, now you're in the know. Countdown to freedom without delay. Suppliers rejoicing, hey, what do they say? Smooth as silk, no dues to pay. Anticipated future paving the way. Zido making it right. Payments flowing all day and night. supply delight. Gone all my worries, gone all fears. Zido for those business gears. Counting blessings in arrears. To the future, let's raise our cheers. Balance dancing in the sky. To the tune of profit high. Operational ease, let out a sigh. Cash flow strong, no need to lie. Suppliers smiling, lights aglow. Anticipation, let it show. Contracts on time, funds to flow. Zido magic, making you go. Zido, making it right. Payments flowing all day and night. Future vision, stay flight. In the chain of supply delight. Zido, making it right, Payments flowing all day and night, Future vision, stay flight. In the chain of supply delight. Gone all worries, gone all fears. Zido for those business gears. Counting blessings in arrears. To the future, let's raise our cheers. Silence dancing in the sky. To the tune of profit high. Operational ease, let out a sigh. To the future, let's show.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to be diving into the world of Zido.
Oh, cool.
It's a fintech company,
Okay.
and they're doing some really interesting stuff with payments.
Interesting.
What really caught my eye is how they're working with these like huge GE companies, like Unilever,
Wow, yeah.
to manage these really complex supply chains. But then they also have this platform
Yep.
for just regular people like us to pay our bills.
Interesting. So they're kind of like hitting both ends of the spectrum there.
Yeah, and they're doing it in two totally different markets too.
Oh, wow.
Nigeria and the UK.
So how do they adapt? I mean, that's
That's what I want to find out. Like, how do you make a system that works in
yeah.
those two very different places?
Well, that's one of the things that makes Zido so fascinating, right?
Yeah.
This ability to kind of bridge
Yeah.
those different needs. And they've really honed in on this concept of revenue back payments.
Yeah. Okay. So let's break that down a bit.
Sure.
What exactly are revenue back payments?
You got it. So and you get the basic idea, right? It's using future income to pay for things now.
Yeah.
But let's dive into like how it actually works.
Yeah, the mechanics of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So think of it this way. Zido basically acts as a bridge
Okay.
between a business and its suppliers.
Okay.
They look at the business's expected revenue stream
Mm-hmm.
and they use that to basically guarantee payments to the suppliers.
So even if the business hasn't actually gotten paid yet.
Exactly. It's about giving them that financial security.
Okay, so it's not just about like giving them more time.
Right.
It's using that future income as almost like a collateral.
Yeah, you got it. That's a great way to put it. And that's where the fintech part comes in.
Okay.
They're using these really sophisticated algorithms and data analysis
Right.
to assess risk and figure out creditworthiness and manage potential defaults. So like a superpower.
Like a credit check, but
Yeah, but instead of looking at what you did,
right.
it's looking at what you're gonna to do.
Interesting. Okay, so let's make this real. They talk about working with Unilever, which,
Huge EE company.
massive global supply chain.
Yeah.
How does this actually work for them?
Okay, so imagine Unilever needs to buy a massive shipment of palm oil, for all their products.
Mm-hmm.
Traditionally, they'd have to pay for that upfront, right?
Right.
Which could tie up a ton of their capital.
Yeah.
With Zido, they can secure that shipment like immediately,
Oh, wow.
knowing that Zido is guaranteeing that payment to the supplier
Based on.
based on Unilever's expected future revenue.
Okay, so instead of having all their cash flow tied up
Exactly.
in these big payments, they can keep that money moving.
You move it. Yeah. Invest in other areas of the business.
And grow faster.
Exactly. It's all about agility.
Agility. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
So that's for like the big guys like Unilever,
Right.
but they also have this platform, Zido Pay.
hmm
That's for you and me.
Yep. For the everyday person.
And I got to be honest, I'm always a little skeptical of these new bill paying apps.
Yeah, I get it. There's a lot out there.
Yeah. What makes Zido Pay different?
So it's not just about paying bills.
Okay.
It's about managing your money better.
Okay.
Remember that whole revenue back payments thing?
Yeah.
They apply that same idea to individuals.
Okay.
So you can use your future income to smooth out your bill payments.
So, like, if I have a big expense coming up,
Yeah.
but my paycheck isn't for another week,
hmm
ZydoPay could step in and cover that.
Exactly. It's like having this financial safety net
Okay.
that helps you avoid those pesky late fees.
Which I hate.
Yeah, nobody likes those.
And helps keep your credit score looking good.
Exactly. And ultimately, it just reduces financial stress.
Yeah, because I've definitely been there where one late fee just like throws my whole budget off.
It's a domino effect.
So it's kind of like taking buy now, pay later, but for our bills.
That's a great way to put it. And people are really responding to it.
That's cool.
Yeah, they're sharing stories about how it's helped them stay on top of things,
I love that.
avoid those fees, and even improve their credit scores.
Okay, so we've got this company working in two very different markets,
Right.
offering solutions for both businesses and individuals.
Mm.
And it's all built on this idea of revenue-backed payments.
It's a pretty diverse portfolio.
It is. So how do they tailor their approach
Yeah.
to these different needs? That's where we'll delve deeper next.
I'm excited to get into that.
Me too.
It's fascinating stuff.
It is. Okay, so we've established Zidos in these two totally different markets,
Right.
Nigeria and the UK.
Mm.
How do they change their approach to work in both?
Yeah. It's a great question. And it really shows they get these markets.
Okay.
Let's start with Nigeria.
Me?
One of the biggest things businesses struggle with there is getting financing.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Like traditional bank loans, banks are often hesitant to lend to smaller businesses,
Makes sense.
especially in agriculture.
Right, which is huge EE in Nigeria.
Huge EE part of their economy.
Yeah,
And that lack of access to capital really holds them back.
for sure.
And that's where Zido comes in with their solution.
Okay.
Using future revenue streams as that collateral,
Right.
it gives businesses the working capital they need to grow,
Regardless of,
regardless of their size or if they
Yeah.
have good credit history.
so it levels the playing field a bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a game changer for companies like Olam,
There.
leading agricultural commodity trader,
Okay.
working with farmers all across Nigeria.
So instead of being stuck because they don't have cash on hand,
Right.
they can actually like expand their operations.
Exactly. Hire more people, contribute to the local economy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But it's not just about individual businesses, though.
Okay.
It's about lifting that whole sector, the whole agricultural sector.
Which is so important for Nigeria.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A major driver of growth.
Yeah.
So by making those businesses more stable financially,
Mhm.
Zido's helping the whole region.
Wow. It's like they found this really targeted solution
Yeah.
to this like big systemic problem.
Absolutely.
Okay. So that's Nigeria. What about the UK?
All right. So the UK is totally different, right?
Yeah. Way more developed.
A much more mature market,
Yes.
established financial institutions,
Mhm.
pretty easy to get capital if you need it.
Right.
So Zido's focus shifts a bit there.
Okay.
It's less about filling that gap in financing
hmm
and more about optimizing what's already there.
So less about like saving the day
Right.
and more about like giving businesses an advantage.
Exactly. UK businesses want to be more efficient.
For sure. Got to stay competitive.
Yep. Cut costs, streamline everything.
Yeah.
And Zido's platform helps them do that.
Okay. How so?
Automating payments,
Okay.
making everything more transparent,
Mm-hmm.
giving them that up to the minute view of their cash flow.
Oh, that's got to be so helpful.
Yeah, especially in a fast-paced market like the UK.
Definitely. Okay. But let's switch back to Zido Pay for a sec.
Yeah, sure.
We talked about how it helps with bills,
Right.
but what makes it better than all the other apps out there?
Well, a few things.
Okay.
First, the app itself is super easy to use.
Correct.
You can see all your bills in one place.
Oh, that's nice.
Schedule payments ahead of time, even set reminders.
So you don't miss anything.
Exactly. No more scrambling to remember due dates.
I need that in my life.
Yeah, it's a lifesaver. But what about that pay now, pay later feature?
Right. Right. How does that work?
So it's really meant to be a safety net.
Okay. Not like a free pass.
Not at all. Zido uses those same fancy algorithms.
The ones they use for businesses?
Yep, to assess risk for ZydoPay too.
So they're not just giving anyone credit.
No, they look at each person's finances
Mm-hmm.
and only offer it to those who can handle it.
Responsibly,
Exactly. It's about helping people take control.
not get in over their heads.
Exactly. And to keep things responsible.
Okay.
They're super clear about the terms,
Yeah.
no hidden fees or surprises.
Yeah.
And they even have resources to help people understand
Oh, that's cool.
how to use the pay now, pay later wisely.
So it's like convenience, but also like,
Responsibility.
yeah, teaching good habits.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh.
Okay, so we've seen how Zido helps businesses.
Yeah, in two very different places,
and how they're giving individuals more control over their money.
all based on this idea of revenue-backed payments.
And it's all built on being innovative and adapting and really wanting to make a difference.
It's a pretty inspiring story. Makes you wonder what they'll do next.
What possibilities are out there?
Where do they go from here? Yeah, it feels like we've just scratched the surface here.
Totally.
They're already making such a difference in
Oh,
these
yeah.
two completely different markets.
Yeah,
What's next? What's on the horizon for Zido?
that's what gets me so excited about them. Their potential is huge.
Yeah,
And we've talked about supply chains, personal finance.
right.
But imagine this model in other sectors,
Okay.
like healthcare, for example.
Okay.
In so many places, getting good healthcare is expensive upfront.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Zido's system could be huge there,
How so?
allowing people to get the care they need
Mm.
without worrying about the immediate cost.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that would change everything.
Right. It could totally transform how we think about healthcare affordability.
And it's not just healthcare, right?
No, not at all.
Could be education, renewable energy, even housing.
Exactly. Imagine a student who can't afford a specialized course.
Yeah.
Zido could look at their future earnings based on those new skills
All right.
and give them the financing to invest in their education.
So it's about opening doors that were closed before.
Exactly. Unlocking opportunities that were out of reach because of money.
It's like they're building this more inclusive system
Yeah.
where everyone has a chance to reach their potential.
That's what makes their story so powerful. They're not just selling a product.
Right.
They're challenging how things have always been done,
Yeah.
reimagining how we think about finance.
It's really inspiring to see a company so focused on making a positive impact.
It really is.
Makes you wonder what we can learn from them
Yeah. What are the key takeaways?
for other businesses or even for us in our own financial lives.
Well, one big one is adaptability. Zido's been amazing at tailoring their solutions to different situations.
Mhm. They're in such different places.
They're not afraid to experiment, try new things, constantly improving.
So it's not just about adapting to like outside factors.
Right.
It's also about being flexible within the company.
Yeah. They're not afraid to challenge the old ways of doing things.
Yeah. They're not letting tradition hold them back.
And that's a lesson for all of us, I think.
Oh, really?
We got to question things, be open to new ideas, always look for a better way.
I love that. It's a good reminder that innovation, it's not just about technology, it's about how you think.
Absolutely. And speaking of thinking, another key takeaway is trust
Okay.
and transparency.
Mm,
Their whole model is built on using future earnings as collateral.
right?
That takes a lot of trust.
From everyone involved.
Yeah, both businesses and individuals.
And they've done a lot to build that trust.
Oh, yeah.
Being upfront about how they work clear terms and conditions,
Mhm.
giving people the info they need to understand it.
Transparency builds confidence,
Totally.
and confidence is crucial in any financial system.
Absolutely. Whether you're a huge corporation
Right.
or just paying your bills every month.
You need to feel like the system's fair,
Yeah.
that it's reliable and it's working for you.
I think we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have. It's been a great deep dive.
We've looked at Zido's approach to payments, how they're impacting businesses and individuals,
Yeah.
and what their success means for the bigger picture.
I hope our listeners have a better sense of how Zido is shaking things up in finance,
Zido is definitely a company to keep an eye on.
for sure.
Who knows? Maybe we'll all be using this kind of system one day.
I'd be happy to see that.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of Zido.
It's been a pleasure.
We encourage you to check them out and see if their solutions could help you reach your own financial goals.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep
Mm.
learning, and keep diving deep.
Future of finance, it's time for a glow. Cash flow angels make your business grow. Payments on time, no debts below. Zido's the way, now you're in the know. Countdown to freedom without delay. Suppliers rejoicing, hey, what do they say? Smooth as silk, no dues to pay. Anticipated future paving the way. 'Cause I don't see them making it right. Payments flowing all day and night. Future vision steady flight. In the chain of supply delight. Gone on the world. worries, gone off fears. Zido for those business gears, counting blessings in arrears. To the future, let's raise our cheers. Balance dancing in the sky, to the tune of profit high. Operational ease laid out aside. Cash flow strong, no need to lie. Supplier smiling, lights aglow. Anticipation, let it show. Contracts on time, funds to flow. Zido magic, making you go. Zido making it right. Payments flowing all day and night. Future vision, stay flight. In the chain of supply delight. Zido making it right, making it right. Payments flowing all day and night, day and night. Future vision, stay flight, take flight. In the chain of supply delight, delight. Gone are worries, gone are fears. Zido for those business gears, counting blessings in arrears. To the future, let's raise our cheers. Balance dancing in the sky, to the tune of profit high. Operational ease laid out aside. To the future, let's cheers. Let's raise our cheers. Oh, to the future, let's dancing in the sky. Let's raise our cheers. Oh, oh. Future of finance, it's time for a glow. Cash flow angels make your business grow. Payments on time, no debts below. Zido's the way, now you're in the know. Countdown to freedom without delay. Suppliers rejoicing, hey, what do they say? Smooth as silk, no dues to pay. Anticipated future paving the way. Zido, making it right. Payments flowing all day and night. Future visions take flight. In the chain of supply delight. Gone are worries, gone are fears. Zido for those business gears, counting blessings in arrears. To the future, let's raise our cheers. Balance dancing in the sky, to the tune of profit high. Operational ease let out a sigh. Cash flow strong, no need to lie. Supplier smiling, lights aglow. Anticipation, let it show. Contracts on time, funds to flow. Zido magic, making you go. Zido, making it right. Payments flowing all day and night. Future visions take flight. In the chain of supply delight. Zido, making it right. Payments flowing all day and night. Future visions take flight. In the chain of supply delight. Gone are worries, gone are fears. Zido for those business gears, counting blessings in arrears. To the future, let's raise our cheers. In the chain of supply delight. 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 Delight, delight, delight. Guiding the way. Delight, delight.
Bills stack high like skyscrapers. Stress creeps in like midnight capers. Payments due, but funds run low. Zido steps in, save the show. Time ticks down like a countdown clock. Worries hit like a heavy rock. Suppliers wait with hands held out. Zido swoops in without a doubt. Turn the tide and change the flow. Future funds we borrow and grow. Pay them now and keep the pace. Zido saves the supply chain race. Money flows where troubles used to stand. Business grows like castles in the sand. Checks and balances all in play. Zido makes it a brighter day. Never stress when payments loom. Zido clears the overhead gloom. Suppliers smile as cash flows through. Timely funds and dreams come true. Turn the tide and change the flow. Future funds we borrow and grow. Pay them now and keep the pace. Zido saves the supply chain race. Money flows where troubles used to stand. Business grows like castles in the sand. Checks and balances all in play. Zido makes it a brighter day. Never stress when payments loom. Zido clears the overhead gloom. Suppliers smile as cash flows through. Timely funds and dreams come true. Turn the tide and change the flow. Change the flow. Future funds we borrow and grow. Borrow and grow. Pay them now and keep the pace. Keep the pace. Zido saves the supply chain race. Chain race, chain race. Chain race. Chain race. Chain race. Chain race. Bills stack high like skyscrapers. Stress creeps in like midnight capers. Payments due, but funds run low. Zido steps in, save the show. Time ticks down like a countdown clock. Worries hit like a heavy rock. Suppliers wait with hands held out. Zido swoops in without a doubt. Turn the tide and change the flow. Future funds we borrow and grow. Pay them now and keep the pace. Zido saves the supply chain race. Money flows where troubles used to stand. Business grows like castles in the sand. Checks and balances all in play. Zido makes it a brighter day. Never stress when payments loom. Zido clears the overhead gloom. Suppliers smile as cash flows through. Timely funds and dreams come true. Turn the tide and change the flow. Future funds we borrow and grow. Pay them now and keep the pace. Zido saves the supply chain race. Chain race. Chain race. Chain race. Chain race. Money flows where troubles used to stand. business grows like castles in the sand. Checks and balances all in play. Zido makes it a brighter day. My chain
New world of trade and flow. Cash is king, it's how we go. Zido comes to break the chains, free the funds and ease the pains. Suppliers waiting, not in vain. Money moves like summer rain. Future payments scheduled tight. Zido makes it feel just right. Unlock the doors with just a click. Zido's got the power trick, bringing harmony to play in the supply chain every day. Timely treasures every day. Pay it forward, find your way. Supplier smiling for the ease. Zido brings the world to please. A future that's clear and bright. Funds flowing with pure daylight. No more waiting in the shade. Zido lighting up your tray. Unlock the doors with just a click. Zido's got the power trick, bringing harmony to play in the supply chain every day. Timely treasures every day. Pay it forward, find your way. Supplier smiling for the ease. Zido brings the world to please. A future that's clear and bright. Funds flowing with pure delight. No more waiting in the shade. Zido lighting up your tray. Unlock the doors with just a click. Zido's got the power trick, bringing harmony to play in the supply chain every day.